Let it rip. All right, and we're back.
Great googly moogly, brother.
Should we just get right into it?
Yeah, you would do you stuff or me stuff?
No, we should probably continue our conversation from off the pod.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, okay. So we're talking about how Sabrina Carpenter music sounds like K-pop.
I'm pretty sure Sabrina Carpenter is just doing English K-pop songs. Like, I think that her producers or managers or company, whoever, have just realized how popular K-pop is, and are like, what if we just make K-pop in English?
I think it's all just like it's all music theory.
100%.
It's all like the fuck.
It's like the progressions. It's
The progression. Oh yeah. So there's a specific chord progression that's like really popular in like K-pop and anime.
It makes, well, because you've seen all that stuff where like so there's a thing where, because like instruments evolved independent of each other, like they were tuned differently. So a lot of, I might be talking my ass, but I've heard, I'm somewhat close to the truth. Like a lot of Asian instruments are tuned, I think, minor, whereas a lot of American stuff, or European stuff, I guess I should say, is tuned major. And that's what gives it's a whole different sound to like their instruments.
You're right about that. I don't know.
And like they would use like different tones than we would ever use. And
Yeah, I feel like I just watched some like music theory like YouTube videos like a while ago. I know that like like a major chord tries to make you happy, or like invokes
it has a
that
more joyful
feeling.
sound.
Yeah, and like minor is like sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So there's a difference though in how their music is arranged. That stuff that we would hear just instrumentally and go, "Oh, that's got to be sad." And then when they perform it, they're like, "No, this is," because I don't know, like they just, it's the intonation thing, like
It sounds more honorable.
the European mind cannot comprehend.
No, it can't. The Western mind, right?
Dude, yes. I took AP Music Theory in school, and that probably was my worst performing class ever.
Wait, in like high school?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It was a class of like 4 dudes. It was just me,
Nice.
3 other dudes from music department, and Mr. Hill. And it was the last semester of my senior year, and I was a bad student.
It's senioritis.
Like, I thought it was gonna be like me, Mr. Hill, and like these other band dudes just like chilling. And he started talking about like, we started from like the beginning of Western music and like Gregorian chants, and then we got into this thing called modes, which, from what I understand, is like music goes through modes of like what is the popular thing. So like Gregorian chants, it was like, well, we only have access to these instruments, and like this is what we think sounds good. So then you had like operatic music from like the Middle Ages, and then like the Renaissance had its own music. And now we're in this age where we're just like, it's like freestyle. It's all like jazz. It's all jazz based now.
And there's just so much, I feel like back then it's like, oh, like that's what people are playing down the street.
Yeah.
But
You only know what you're hearing.
yeah, but now you hear so much.
That's why dudes like Mozart and stuff were so visionary, that they could just like create this like new whole, like they were like the Elvis of their day, of just being like, I just created a whole new sound.
Actually, there's this whole new thing. It's called jazz. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Amadeus?
No, so yeah, that's another one that's been the top of my watch list for a long time.
There's this dude Salieri.
Yeah.
And he's like the king's personal musician. And Salieri, like in real life, was a great composer in his own thing. He has a thing called Requiem that's really nice. But there's like a theory that Salieri had Mozart killed, that the movie and the musical, I think it's a musical or play, kind of explores. But there's a really nice scene where like the king is getting a music lesson from Salieri, and Mozart comes in. He's like, wow, like that's a nice song. What are you writing? He's like, well, this is one of Salieri's originals he's been teaching me. And Mozart sits down and is just like, dun, 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 dun. And he just looks at them. He's like, it's a little boring. What if I spice it up? And he just writes a whole new song based on this guy's thing. And Salieri starts looking through his papers, and he's like, these are beautiful. No mistakes. No mistakes. And Mozart goes, those are just drafts. And Salieri looks at him and goes, these are first drafts. It's really nice.
It's a movie about like greed, right? Like, or not greed, but it's like some guy, like, you know, that guy is like looking at Mozart like, this motherfucker. Like, it's about like
it's
like
jealousy,
envy.
envy,
Yeah. Okay.
And also like an existential crisis, because Salieri is kind of realizing through Mozart, he's like, I've given my entire life to music, and here comes this boy essentially, who is just with. I mean, obviously, like Mozart practiced and like played music all day, but Salieri's looking at him and he's going, I will never be as good as this guy.
Yeah.
And then has this existential crisis of like, my life is a sham because I will never be Mozart.
There's definitely like an anime equivalent of that, right?
There has to be. Yeah, it's Sasuke and Naruto.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it has to be Sasuke and Naruto.
It's Sasuke saying, I have to kill Naruto to ever be greater than him.
But also, like, I feel like on both ends, like Naruto was like, he's so fucking good. Like towards Sasuke, like I can never be like as good as him. But at times Sasuke was also like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's powerful as fuck. Like, yeah. Also, to some extent, it could also be Vinland Saga. The first season of Vinland Saga with Thormir and Ashalab.
Oh yes.
But also like Thorfinn was like a kid. Dude. Like eventually, he would have killed him. Oh no, spoiler.
If you haven't seen Vinland Saga, go watch it.
Yeah.
Vinland Saga made me cry.
The last episode?
See, just like, I think there was a build to that. I really liked the themes of like fatherhood.
Yeah.
And like the different types of. There had to be this whole thing of like.
Big spoilers, by the way, for Vinland Saga
season 1. Huge spoilers. But like there was that whole thing of like Thorfinn had this image of his father and like who his father was, and then he missed out on all the real lessons. Like his father obviously implanted like values in him.
Yeah.
But all the lessons that he would need to like become a man, he couldn't get from his father. Mm-hmm. And then Askeladd, through his own methods, kind of in his own way, became a surrogate father. And there's even like a point, like all the shit at the very, very end, where it all kind of clicks and you go, damn, like I thought Askeladd was this real piece of shit.
Yep.
And it turns out he loves Thorfinn.
Yeah.
And he views him as like a son.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That
and
really
like
hit me hard.
And just like knowing that this dude's like, you know, this kid's like hates you and is going to kill you.
Yeah.
But also you're like, I kind of like at some point he had to think like, oh, I killed his dad. I kind of feel bad. Yeah. But all, like, you know, his character wouldn't admit that, I don't think.
And that goes to like, do you ever see Kill Bill?
Yeah.
Like there's the whole thing in Kill Bill where she kills, I think it's Kitty, the black lady.
Yeah.
And she fights her in the house and she kills her. And just as she kills her, this girl's daughter walks in.
Yeah.
And the bride's like, I'm real sorry about that. If you still feel sore about it later, come find me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess that's the way of just that never ending cycle of violence and hate.
Yep.
Like, and that acceptance.
That's good, yeah.
And that goes into Israel, Palestine.
Hot top. It's been a while since we've casted. We gotta talk about Israel, Palestine.
But it is not how like violence begets violence.
Yeah.
And then like taking ownership of that and being like, hey, yeah, I killed your mom, and obviously through my quest of revenge, I maybe have set you on a quest of revenge, and I have to take some agency in that.
There was another show, or like a movie recently where it was like, I need to break the cycle of violence.
Game of Thrones? She's breaking the wheel?
No.
I know what you're talking.
Right? Like
yeah.
I feel like that was a theme in something recently. That wasn't.
Was it one of those things where he's like, oh my God, yeah,
right?
100%. That might just be also a popular theme.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a lot of things, right? Like, like the recent Spider-Man movie, I was kind of thinking, like, no, I can't kill the Green Goblin.
John Wick.
It's
like, no, I'm retired. Those days are over.
Yeah, fuck.
I know what you're talking about, too.
It might hit us later.
It'll probably hit us later.
So yeah, should we talk about what we've been doing?
Well, I've got a violent thing we could get into.
Oh yeah,
something that's been really. I don't know why this has like so come to like the forefront of my attention recently, but I have been absorbing so much Warhammer content. It's kind of like I've never played Warhammer, tabletop video game, anything. Like I've known about it like through my peripherals, but suddenly like 2 weeks ago, I've just been crushing Warhammer 40K lore.
Nice.
It's so cool. It's so like Warhammer. I'm sure. Like, are you familiar with just Warhammer in itself?
Yeah, like the tabletop, like orcs and hero kind of.
Yeah. So there was
Space Marines.
It's kind of that's the thing. There's two different Warhammers.
Oh, okay.
There's Warhammer Original, which is kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons setting.
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's Earth, and there's humans. What's kind of cool with like that old Warhammer stuff is like, the humans aren't just like knights and swords. They have like gunpowder too, and then they're making like cool like. Imagine if like knights had tanks that they like fashioned out of shields and shit.
Okay.
And then they're fighting orcs and all that, and elves and goblins. And it's all like there's these gods of chaos that have like, and that's all happening, and that's cool and all. But then there's Warhammer 40K, and 40K is not that it's like the year 4000. It is the year 40,000, and humanity has spread throughout the entire known universe, and as have the orcs and all the other creatures, and now they all have sectors of the universe. And there's the chaos portions and all that of all like the monsters and demons. And then you have this thing called the Imperium, which is ran by the God Emperor, because this
Nice.
human became so powerful that he became a god.
Oh wow! So like he's been around for a while.
Honestly, I don't know how old the Emperor was,
God Emperor.
but he became the God Emperor. And then what's really cool when you get into like the Space Marines is there's 20 legions of Space Marines, and it seems to be that there were 20 small empires within the empire besides like the main. It's called Terra, so it's, Earth. And each of those little civilizations at some point in the last 40,000 years of space travel made like their complete own cultural identities. And then the Emperor took the most powerful warrior from each of those different mini empires and made them what's called a Primarch. So then there's 20 Primarchs and the Emperor, and then they made the Space Marines.
Oh, okay.
A Space Marine is a boy who's chosen from like 10 years old, and he starts going through like metamorphoses. They start giving him like a second heart, and if he survives that, they give him an extra set of lungs, and if he survives that, they start giving him hormone injections. And then once you get past all that like easy stuff, they start doing this thing called a gene seed, which means that they kind of retroactively turn you into a clone of your Primarch. So each Primarch has millions of super soldiers who are also clones of him in an adult other person. But it's so that like they literally like implant. So if your Primarch is a dude who's like, and like each allegiance has like a theme. So there's like a Viking-y kind of guys. And it's like, well, so if your leader is this like Sven Viking guy, all of his Space Marines are also Viking guys just like him. And it lets them like work together perfectly. And then there was a thing called, this is what really got me. There's a thing called the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
And it's the favorite son, the favorite Primarch, got tempted by the Chaos Gods. And then he, along with some of the other legions, turned against the Emperor, became Chaos Marines, which means that now they're Marines, but they're also like vampires or demons. And he showed up. He fought them all the way to Terra, which is like the heart, like it's just Earth, I guess. And he attacks the emperor's kingdom, and he kills the emperor, and in the process he also dies. So now where Warhammer stands at this moment is that the emperor is dead.
It's like a.
It's an ongoing story.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
No, please ask questions.
No. Wait. I'll wait. No, you finish first.
So there's all the different legions, and then like a bunch of them turned heretic.
Yeah.
So now those are Chaos Space Marines.
The evil Space Marines.
They're evil Space Marines now, and they're super powerful because they're Space Marines with the power of the Chaos Gods.
Oh, okay.
Instead of just the power of like machines and humanity and like the blessings of the God Emperor.
So it's like the Sith.
They're pretty much Sith. Yeah. That's a really good way to describe it. They're just like Sith. And Horus fought all the way there. Horus, the Emperor, and the favorite. Here's a cool little legion. There was another legion, and they had the most perfect Primarch. He was just this sweet, beautiful man, and everyone loved him. And he had the nicest soldiers, and they had like a beautiful empire. He was the last line of defense in the throne room of the Emperor before Horus got to him, and Horus killed him in front of all the other Primarchs and the other men. So now that guy's Space Marines, since this dude's gene seed is lost, all the other Marines, like the millions and millions of Marines that were part of this guy's legion, have now gone completely insane, and they became vampires. And when they don't drink blood, they have this madness that comes over them that makes them view everybody that is not them as Horus. And they just go on like berserker rages.
Damn.
But Horus kills the Emperor kills Horus. I don't know how that all went down. But so now they're entering Warhammer 41, at least in like the lore.
Yeah.
Now we're in the 41st millennia. And the blue Space Marines that you see on like all like the box art and all that, those are like the Royal Space Marines.
Okay.
They're the most, they don't have any special abilities. They're not like great at offense or defense, because there's like the Marines that are just defense guys and guys that are like shock troops.
Yeah.
These guys are like masters of none. And now their leader, who previously in the lore was like the most boring dude, he was just like the starter set guy, but he's just a nice white bread dude. He has become the new emperor.
Okay.
And now he is kind of tasked with pulling the empire back together. And he's realizing that like the empire is completely corrupt. It's disgusting. There's all this evil stuff that was going on. Like the emperor was kind of evil in his own right. And now he is like the hero who has to pull it all together. And I like that they took like the most boring guy and are like, but because he's a good guy and moral, he now becomes the most interesting dude to deal with all the fallout.
Huh.
He's like the Ned Stark of Space Marines.
And like now the story begins.
And now the story begins.
So all right, I have two questions. So like, is that like as of like the game that just came out?
So
Like
the new game that just came out, you are playing as one of the Blue Legion's Marines.
Lord Tyrus.
Lord Tyrus?
Yeah.
That must be the dude then.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's the new emperor.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm guessing that's where the new game's at. That the emperor, like the Horus conspiracy, the Horus heresy has all just happened. And now they are trying to piece together the Imperium.
Okay. Yeah, because like like I was gonna ask like how does like the lore continue, like the games, like like I know there's the games, like what else is there? Is it like comic books?
There's a tabletop.
Novels? Yeah.
There's
like, I know the
novels.
tabletop. Okay.
There's a lot of novels.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like it's kind of, I always thought it was interesting with different games like that, even like D&D, how they find a way to like continue the world and like update quests and stuff. Because I know that was like, I remember when Baldur's Gate was coming out. I guess not Wizard. Is it Wizards of the Coast? Is that who owns D&D?
Coast. I don't know.
Whatever company owns D&D has like recently made a whole bunch of like lore changes that I guess are somewhat of like
Controversial.
I think they're controversial in that they're trying to like clean up some of like the muddier like racial implications of different things in D&D.
Like, what do you mean?
from what I gather, there's like there's certain things in D&D that like indicated that like certain races were inherently bad or inherently evil, and now they're trying to clean that up so that players can be whoever they want without having to like play a certain way. But it's causing out people to be like, oh, so now the orcs aren't bad guys anymore. Like now they were always good.
All right. I mean, so like I get that, but also like it's a fantasy land.
No, Finn, it's not a fantasy land. It's what me and my friends been playing since 1975. Okay.
Pardon my dog. And like a horse walking around.
And in my neighbor's basement, the gnomes were always midgets, and the orcs were always bad.
I mean, like like I don't know. Like I feel like I have like conflicting thoughts because it's like, yeah, people should be able to like, become a just like Baldur's Gate. Like if you're an orc, I don't think anyone treats you that different. I mean, like maybe some people would be like, like what are you doing?
But it makes sense too.
That's the thing.
It makes sense in universe.
Absolutely. Because like like in like Skyrim and stuff like. There's like there's like the fucking.
You're a Stormcloak.
You're a Stormcloak. You're a Khajiit.
You're a Khajiit.
I don't like any Khajiits in here. Like stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like for like a video game, that's cool. But also like to some extent, I feel like, I don't know, maybe people wanting to like kind of like escape and kind of like do that with a game, and like not be reminded of like the real life shit. I get that.
It's that thing of like it makes the world feel more lived in. It makes it feel like there is a history to the world. And
it's like, okay, we can hate them, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not race.
Like I don't have to like we don't have to play D&D and I have to be like, no, I'm one of the good ones. I have to explain in every town we get in that I'm one of the good ones.
Because like like Skyrim even like did it like with like the Civil War and like I mean that was based on like region.
Yeah.
I don't know, but no, like you're definitely right. Like it makes the world feel more lived in. But also I get people wanting to play a game and not be reminded about life.
Yes.
So
but it's cool how that all like I like how those games can still evolve.
Yeah. Dude, like I want to start playing Dungeons and Dragons, like because I've been playing so much Baldur's Gate.
I'm gonna get that starter set.
I think dude. Like I'll definitely play.
I think I would really enjoy doing it. Well, like I've played before, so like I do enjoy it, but I think I could do a decent job DMing, and then I also like if we could get a group and start playing, it's like I kind of tell myself too. I'm like, we don't have to DM forever. Eventually, someone else will want to do it.
I think I've told you before, like the one time I tried to play, I was in college, and my friend Liam, like spent all this time like making a campaign. He sat down with each and every one of us to make our characters, and like sketch the characters out, and like like the powers. Like, what do you want in like like this character? Like tell me a little bit. His back.
Hell yeah.
He got so into it. And we had like 4 or 5, no, probably like 5 people. And we got 2 minutes in, and this one girl immediately was like, "This is boring. I want to play," and then left.
That's so.
Yeah, and my friend Liam was like, "Well, I mean, that whole campaign. I mean, she was like pretty integral to the campaign.
Yeah.
Like I need every character to be here. Like I can't do it now. I felt
Yeah, I think when we do it, I'm just gonna get like a starter campaign that like the book will like walk me through.
Yeah,
and then you guys can
just
do whatever.
Feel,
and then as we get better at it, we'll start. Because there's that whole thing of like somebody like says, "I want to do an action," and then it seems like it's your job as a DM to be like, "Okay, you're gonna roll for Dex," and then I'm just kind of like in your head, like I'm just in my head, like, "All right, I'm gonna say he needs a 16." And you roll 5
shit, like
plus
you need to think of that as the DM, like
the DM's deciding the parameter. Now some things are automatic, like swinging for a hit. like in that book, it'll say like, this goblin has this adaptability, this armor level. But if you say like, I think I wanna like try to read this guy's mind, and it's not a dude who's in the book. Yeah. I now have to like, as a DM, decide how I think in world that would work.
That makes more sense,
and that's where the improv comes in.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then then it's the DM's job to be like, all right, so he did read his mind successfully. Well, there's nothing in the campaign that says what this guy thinks. I'm just going to have to start telling a story here. Mm-hmm. And I think that is kind of fun too. Even like otherwise, otherwise as a DM, you're just like looking at like stat sheets.
Exactly. Yeah. You're just going. Yeah. Just like reading from a book.
Yeah. You're a calculator.
Yeah. Like you're a speaker at that point. No, yeah, like that makes sense because like at first I was thinking like just like strictly the hits kind of, and I was like, damn, like he needs to think that like each time.
Yeah, it's like it's all that other damage calculation stuff is I guess pretty clearly laid out.
Because it's like the armor class, and the strength and the deck, like whatever like stat that is, but
it could be like there was a thing in our campaign where we were in a museum and we were trying to figure out something that had been stolen from the museum, and there was something that had been like planted in the museum that was like causing problems, and then at some point when we were exploring the museum, like a group of assassins came in, and the one guy was like, all right, I want to push over the statue in the middle. So the guy had to think, he's like, all right, your strength is like 16. He's like, all right, roll strength for it. And he didn't hit it. And it's like, all right, so then the game just continues. But it's like, even as a DM, I guess I could be like, all right, he's going to need like let's say you have like a +4. And I'm like, he's going to need a 22. And then you roll a nat or whatever. I'm like, he has to hit a nat 20. And you hit the nat 20. It's like, well, fuck, I got to let him do it. And it's like, all right, you knock the thing over. And I guess I'll just say that's 10 damage on each guy that it hit. And
I was just thinking like it's nice to like just automatically know from Baldur's Gate, you know, like just like this is gonna sound so stupid.
No, no, it's not.
But it kind of reminds me of like learning like a language,
100%,
and just like you're not like going to class, but like you're just picking up on this language because you spend time in that place. And I spent time in Baldur's Gate, or no, still haven't fucking got to fucking Baldur's Gate. But I'm right outside the gate. I literally got to the gate and I got a bunch of shit to do in the town. The town's fucking huge, but. Yeah, like I got to the gate and people and like the like narrator person's like, "Do not go." yeah. I'm like, okay.
There's not your time yet, hero.
Yeah. But no, yeah, like I spent like some time watching like videos on like classes. So I feel like I could get the classes down like like a decent bit too.
You have such a leg up from playing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Because there's like, dude, we got into our second session and nobody had done like different checks yet because none of us had ever played before besides the DM. So it took like the second session until someone was like, dude, I don't know what to do. He's like, you could do a perception check. And we're like, what the fuck's a perception check? Like, what do you mean? Like, and he's like, well, you can. And then he started explaining to us. He's like, you can pretty much ask to do anything, and I'm just gonna give you. It's like playing what's that? Odds are. Like what's the odds? You can just do that with every type of action, and then it's like the skills, and it's like that's where it started getting really cool.
Yeah,
we started getting to like this person has like talk to animals or something.
Skills and the proficiencies and the spells that don't cause that are just an action but don't fill a spell slot and all that shit.
Like cantrips and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Did I tried playing? I was a warlock.
Yeah.
And I wasn't having a lot of fun. I should have just been a more powerful, because then I was spec'd into magic, but the warlocks don't get cool spells until way later.
Yeah.
So I just kind of had I was just weak. I just had like a weak fireball and a dagger. And I was like, all I can do is kind of hang back and cast like darkness in like the middle of everyone, and then nobody can see. And I was like, ha ha.
There, dude. Let me tell you about something called the Swarlock.
The Swarlock.
The Swarlock. There's a I was watching like a video about like cool classes that like and it said the Swarlock, and you put some of your points into sorcery, some into warlock, and a few in a warrior.
It's like what was that? Battle mage almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's fucking sick.
But you only do the warrior, so that you get action surge and something else. Mm-hmm. But like that basically just makes you like like you can have like a new turn per short rest, but like this build has like the there's a spell called the Eldritch Blast. And
Eldritch Blast is the best spell that I got the whole game.
It's crazy
as far as I am.
And like, like it like upgrades to the point where like you can have three
bolts or whatever.
Yeah, 3 bolts. So like basically like the point where I'm at now, where I'm like max level. I can do in one turn, like 3 shots. Do my thing over again, 3 more shots, and then as the Swarlock, you have sorcery points. So 3 points, you can recast a spell. So I can do that.
So you can just like triple Eldritch Blast.
You can do it 4 times if you do it right.
12 bolts.
Yeah. And like
that's so much.
This build has like
so many.
Like you can roll it and get like a critical on like 1 less roll, and like you can wear things to get like you're more likely to score a critical point when surrounded by people, and like you can stack it. So the builds get crazy in that game. Yeah,
I really like that.
I'm sure it gets the same crazy in actual D&D.
Yeah, it's all the same shit.
Yeah, same gameplay. So yeah. Oh shit! I saw something a few days ago that was VR D&D, and like and basically, well, like the one bummer is that you need like 4 people with VR headsets. But like you all put on, but like
got 2.
It's AR, so it's like augmented reality. So like basically you just have a table and it makes a little map for you. Oh, that's a Guinness. That's a guinea.
That's a guinea.
But yeah, like so basically you just have like this little table with a little map on it, and like like points, like it shows you like. Like little squares, kind of like a chessboard type thing. But yeah, I'm like, damn, but like that's you need some like not high class friends, but you need some
pretty squared away people.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, let's all get our four Oculus 3s together and fucking play a game.
That's a cool thing too. People told me that like when I played, we had a map. Like he had like fully taken like a big ass piece of paper and like drawn like each room, and then we each had like a little piece of paper that like represented our character, and we'd move it around and all that. But then other people have told me you don't even really need that. As long as everyone is kind of on the same page of like being able to use your imagination and like picture a setting, like picture a room, it's just up to like the DM really to just like go along with that. Or you can play the Baldur's Gate style of like, I'm on this square, I have this much space, and
the square thing might be fun.
It seems like so much work.
It does seem a lot. Yeah, that's a good point.
I just don't know how you make it work if you don't know it. I wonder if
especially like there's tiles, but it's like what like you constantly need to imagine, like because like I get imagining like the place and the characters and all that, but like when there's a physical thing that you're looking at, I feel like it is kind of hard to also put your mind like, oh, there's a town here actually, and there's so I get that point of it too.
It definitely added more to like being able to visualize things during like battles and stuff. But then there was also that part where it's like, rather than being able to sit there and like think about myself as my character and like role play a little, I felt like I was playing a video game.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't just be like, all right, like I am this warlock in this thing. It was like, I am this piece on this board. And I'm doing like the math of like, if I move 2 spaces and then 1 space, I'm now out of his range.
Yeah. It's like a physical, thing you're seeing now. Yeah.
I wonder if you get the starter packs, if like, because a starter pack is a full campaign. Mm-hmm. Like that book is that campaign. And I wonder if in that it has like diagrams of each section.
So
I guess it's really only important for like encounters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because especially as a DM, like being like, oh, I gotta remember there's a man under this bridge that needs to offer them coins to pass. That's what I was. It would be like, all right, like you enter a tavern, it's all dialogue based. It's like, all right, we're all just gonna pretend like we're in a bar right now. Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, we've entered a cave. It's probably gonna be like, okay, here's exactly how each cave room is laid out. Mm-hmm. And you can just like put the book on the table, I guess. Maybe it has pull out maps.
Maybe.
What if we could just like print it?
We should watch a video. So like, I got like 3 minutes into a video that was like the Baldur's Gate cast doing a D&D like they did it a few times now. I think
I've seen a couple of those. Have you ever seen like Critical Role or any of them?
That sounds so familiar. Maybe I've seen it on like Reddit or something, but
they do. It's Critical Role, and I think the other companies, they might be like D20 or something.
Oh, okay.
And it's all that they do is it's just like groups of friends, and they have like different campaigns going on, and they all play.
Nice.
It's all the same people. If you've ever seen, Dropout, any of their videos?
No.
It's all the people that used to do College Humor.
Oh shit! Okay.
And now they have their own channel called Dropout. Yeah,
that's dope.
It's kind of cool. So
it's a cool name.
They do like sketches and stuff, and then they also do like game shows, or they'll do like a Whose Line Is It Anyway thing, because they're all like character actors and improv people.
First off, sorry, you remind me of Whose Line.
Whose Line Is It
Whose
Anyway?
Line Is It Anyway? Yeah. I completely forgot about the show. Sorry, yeah.
Dude, Whose Line was so nice.
That was I would record like that was a show like I was like 7 or 8 recording Whose Line Is It Anyway, because I was like this is great.
This is genius. Apparently, those episodes were like an hour and a half long, and then they would just cut down the best bits to get that 20 minutes.
Oh my god!
Which kind of makes sense because they can't all be hits.
True, but like oh my
audience
god,
participation improv.
What's your completion percentage?
I don't know.
At that point,
I guess they're all just good at it. They're all just comedians that like that stuff.
True.
It is like also improv is like the gayest form of comedy. Gayest not as in sexuality, as in it's just
it's happy.
It can get very theater kid very quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's happy.
Yeah. Like yeah, I'm somewhat torn on that because like I think Tim Robinson came from, or like he was in a group, Second City, who like is like an improv group.
They're part of the SNL system, right?
A lot of the alumni, like definitely overlaps. Yeah,
is it that's a lot of like those comedian stuff that do that type of work.
Yeah,
do live comedy. Mm-hmm. It's got to just be a huge thing like in LA.
I can't imagine.
It's like Barry.
I haven't seen Barry.
You haven't seen Barry?
I saw like the first episode of Barry and I turned it off. But like
Barry's very good.
I did like that I think they're like half an hour long. Like this is nice.
Yeah, I don't remember how long they are. Barry was good. I watched like 4 episodes of Barry, but I thought I enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude. I was watching just Vinland Saga. Before that, Love Is Blind, of course. But yeah, dude, I haven't been watching much. I really just been crushing Baldur's Gate. Oh yeah. Speaking of Warhammer, so I got the Warhammer game.
Oh yeah, have you played it yet?
I got like 2 levels in, but also like so I wanted to buy it. So side note to the side note, I feel like there's a thing I do whenever like a new game comes out,
Mm-hmm.
where like I feel like I need to experience it,
Fair.
and I'm like I need to buy it, and like
Yes.
I'll buy it, then I'll barely play it, and then like you know, sometimes I will go back.
Mm-hmm.
Like Red Dead, I went back. Thank God I went back. That game's fucking
Red
amazing.
Dead rocks.
Hogwarts, I still need to go back. And Space Marines is something I will go back to, but like I got it in the middle of my fucking Baldur's Gate like binge.
Yes.
So, you know, like I played like 2 missions. I was like, I should get back to Baldur's Gate.
Sometimes
My
that
people
gets
need
you.
me.
What was I thinking? Oh, dude, I recently, so I haven't watched anime in like months and months. It felt